Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to eSIMS Engineering. This is Jeff Coppertay here with part 3 of our 2.1.2 tutorial from the PLTW CSP activity. All right, so in this part of the video, part of the series, we are going to talk about part 5 and a little bit about the conclusion questions, and just kind of go over our general procedure and how we can access some of this information and what they do. So part 5 talks about search queries, and you may not have thought much about this other than your use of Google. You probably have not talked too much about the abstract, about how Google works and how you search for one thing and then get a certain list of things, even though the web has millions of sites and pages that could possibly return and be relevant to your experience. So let's talk about that a little bit with these questions. So there is a video. I'm not going to play the video here, but you do want to take a look at this and talk about search algorithms. You know, for example, if you type in Amazon.com review of a product, you should expect that the first hit is going to be on page 1 from the actual site Amazon.com. But maybe there is another link that has a review that's on a completely different website for that product. Would that come up? And chances are yes. Okay, chances are very good. But however, because you typed in Amazon, it's very likely, since Amazon is an immensely popular site, that most of your results would be from the site Amazon.com. So watch that video, check out that question. What role do algorithms play in determining search results? There are lots of factors, not just what you search for, but also what people are doing on the web that also factor into what results you get. After watching the following video, explain the answer why some web pages might not be returned to search results, even if they are relevant to your query. That's another video where you can kind of talk about that question as well. Very similar information, number 27 and number 28. So what you write for number 27 can be very similar to what you would write for 28. Now, even today, one of the most important skills you can learn is effectively how to format your search queries. Higher quality queries get you better results in less time, leaving you more time for everything else. They help you conduct research, find images, videos, locate communities for discussion in various topics. Some of the best tips for improving your searches are incredibly basic. Be as specific as you can, consider the type of vocabulary that's likely to appear on sites you want to see, and keep your queries simple. You can get a lot trickier if you have specific criteria to search. There is a couple of things that you can look at. Actually, I'll open this up to kind of show you some things you may not know about Google, about what you can search for and how you can search. There are most people, when they type it out, they just type something in, and it's nice and easy. Most people, I'd say about 90% of Google searches are about this simple. You just type in the things you're looking for. If you want pizza, and you're looking for a pizza restaurant, you may type pizza restaurant and then Google. Well, okay, so that's another thing to think about. Why is it you're not getting results from, say, Ohio? If you're in Connecticut like I am, if you type pizza restaurant, chances are you're going to get results that are in your local area, especially if you have location detection on, if you're going from your mobile device. Google also likes to ignore spelling, automatically checks most common spelling, so you can type in misspellings and Google will automatically correct that. Using web-friendly words, so, instead of saying my head hurts, you should say headache, because there's a lot of possibilities about why your head would hurt, but a headache is much more specific. Less is more. There's a lot of text. We're not going to go through all of these things on here, but getting a good idea of a couple of things that you can use in a search query to get and fine-tune most of your things. A couple of examples that are a little further down. You can get movie times, but if you search for a movie name, you can type that in as well. If you're looking for public domain books like Moby Dick, you should be able to read that for free because it is in the public domain, and so forth. There's lots of nice little tricks that you can use by Google. So it's quite interesting to take a look at. Let's say you want to search for Mustangs, but not the car, just the horse. What search operator would you use to ignore sites about cars? So you could say, for example, Mustangs and then not car. You can use the not operand the same way. So actually, let's try that real fast and see if that actually works as I'm describing it. Mustangs, not car, right? Right? So I'm getting a couple of talking about car. So I'm going to try that again. Let's see if I can. Actually, I'll try that. Sorry, I typed them. That's what I forgot to type in. Okay, Mustang horse. Right? I could put that in quotes, and if I do that, then I'm going to get all search results about the horses in this case. Right? So if I use quotes, I can do that. I also, believe it or not, I'm pretty sure I can use parentheses as well, but I'm going to go check that out outside of this tutorial. All right, so you search for Mustangs, but not the car, just the horse. You can use the quotes to do that. If you want to find PowerPoint slides about a given topic, how can you get results that contain only .ppt compatible documents? So if you want to do that, you just go to Google and you can type in, let's say we're looking for PowerPoints on the planet Mercury. I can type in colon PPT, and then my search return will give all PowerPoint slides for the planet Mercury. So see, there's Mercury PPT, right? So that's a couple of things I can do as well. I can use a colon and a file extension to get only those types of files. Let's say you saw an article about whales on CNN, but it's been a few days, you can't find it by searching for whales. How can you narrow down your search and only get results from CNN.com? So this one is pretty useful. You actually, and it's another thing, you may not know that you can do this. You actually can type in a search query, like for example, if you're looking for whales, and you can then go site colon CNN.com, and it should return all articles from the site CNN.com, right? So there you can look down that search list, and it's all CNN.com. So that's a good way to look. If you know the site it's on, you can type in the tag site colon and then the site itself. So that, going back to that example I gave with the Amazon reviews, what if you're looking for a review on Yamaha amplifier site colon Amazon.com, right? So you can get all reviews for different amplifiers that way. There's a possibility, right? So a couple ways that you can do it. And those are very helpful little tricks that will make your search experience a little easier. Obviously, search is a very powerful tool. One thing that you may not know is that you're aware of is this site here, google.com/trends. This is a great site. Check this out. This particular site actually goes over what kinds of things that people are talking and searching about at any given time. So this is actually quite a fascinating site, and you can see here there's lots of recent search history about the Grammy Awards, because they were the other night, and State of the Union, as of recording this video, of course. State of the Union, there's lots of searches about that, and you can kind of look at that. So if you check this out, you can type in specific topics, like for example, how about Amazon.com, since we talked about Amazon.com, right? If I check out the trends on Amazon over time, and I can expand this as far as right now, this is basically 1 year's worth of trends. Amazon was pretty popular right about here, right? There's a lot of interest in Amazon by region and in these areas, and different things people are searching for. You could also change the time, so you could actually say 2004 to present. What was the interest in Amazon over time, right? So actually look here, you can see the interest in Amazon over, as far as a trend is concerned, definitely spiked at certain times. And check this out. It spikes in December. I wonder why interest in Amazon would spike in December, right? So very interesting stuff, and a fascinating site. You could definitely waste a lot of time on trends. But in this assignment, they want you to search for swine flu. So go to trends, go to swine flu, take a look at when there was a lot of interest and a little spike in interest over that little graph I just showed you. That's basically what you're looking for there. And Google Trends is like another example of like what you might use Google Trends for. Is if you're like a content creator and you want to create things that people are interested in knowing more about, and you're trying to get ideas for what you can create, you can always use the trend site to see what people are currently searching for and make videos about that, and or create content based on that, and you're more likely to get some views on that. All right, so back to this. What else might you be able to predict using visualization like Google Trends? Conduct a search and note any patterns you found here. I just gave you a perfect example with Amazon. I'm going to let you slide with that, rewind and hear that again if you missed it. 32, describe a strategy using Google Trends to buy your best friend the most popular Christmas gift. That's a great one right there, right? So if you look up in Google Trends Christmas gifts or popular Christmas gifts, you probably can get different search trends and things like that. If you typed in popularity, what kind of things you're looking for, lots of possibilities with that. Now, for number 33, even though I actually did not assign this portion to my class, that is going through the class as of the recording of this video, but I do want to just kind of talk about what you would do in this case. If you're asked to do this question by your teacher, what you're going to do is do the same search query at all three of these sites. Notice that Google.com, Google.cn, which is Canada, by the way, and then Bing. If you do the same exact search query in all three, what are the top 10 results that you get from, in this case, so this you have, top 5. 5 queries, 3 search engines to test in these queries, examine the first 3 results. In each engine, record your comments and analysis here. So if you had queries, and you typed in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these sites here, what kinds of things would you say about this? So I'm obviously not going to use an example of this, but it's really not that hard. Which engine's algorithm think you performed the best? That's kind of going to be completely subjective, completely up to you. If you search democracy on these 2 sites, you may notice a lot of differences between what you look at google.com versus google.com/HK, which stands for Hong Kong. Digital censorship is live and real. Let's just leave it at that. And again, how or why does autonomy scale? We kind of talked about that with previous cases as well. So this tutorial kind of covers all of those things. When you get to the conclusion questions, there's a lot of subjective answers to this. What are the various factors that influence results different search engines produce? Obviously, the individual search engine algorithm, but also location definitely plays with that as well. And crowdsourced data, governing bodies of .com, why it's important owners of individual domains maintain authoritative records of their subdomains and manage content that is published on their sites. What would the alternative be? So there's obviously some situations there as far as ownership is concerned. You don't want people publishing content to your site that you don't want published, so that totally makes sense. And a couple of the basic things that you want to know from that. So if you have more questions about this assignment, again, I've got 2 other parts that go with this, but if you got questions about this part, leave them in the comment section below. Please click that like button, and I would love it if you would subscribe to eSIMS Engineering for more PLTW related content as the year goes on. I hope you have a wonderful day. Don't forget to be awesome.